Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion tip of the week. I want you to think about something for a moment. Think about a time in your life when you were confronted with a major challenge. In fact, maybe you're going through something right now. And think about how it could seem overwhelming and almost insurmountable to be able to move through an obstacle that's in front of you. And many times that's the case because we think about things in their entirety. We think about how difficult something will be to get through, and thoughts of worry and hesitation and things start to go through us. And what we're doing is we're just focusing on the outcome. And so we begin to ask ourselves the question, can I do it? Now that's a natural question to ask yourself, but also think about the energy of that question. Can I do it? There's a part of doubt. There's some lack of confidence within that. And again, because we're focusing on something in its entirety. But I'm going to suggest to you, and suggest to myself as well, that there might be a more empowering question for us to ask ourselves when challenge comes about, and that's, how do I do it? Now, when we ask ourselves, how do I do it? Now we begin to move into a creative mode in our mind. We start to think of creative ways to deal with a situation. And really what we do then also is we just have to think about the first step. What do I have to do? That moves into the next step, that then moves into the next step. And what we all know is that when we just take that first step, it starts to build momentum, and great things are done with consistent results. They normally don't happen all at once, but they happen over time when we take that first step. So how can we do that in our own lives? How can we move from that idea of can I do it, which would be outcome orientation, to how do I do it, which is process orientation, thinking about the process to move through. And something that comes to mind for me is something that I've been teaching students for decades, and in the martial arts we call it the black belt cycle of success. Now, even though it was originally designed for students that are moving through their road to black belt, I think it can work with all types of groups, all types of people, all types of leaders, whether we're adults or whether we're kids or teens. And it's a 6-step process that I want to take you through now. And the first one is know what you want. So get really clear on the vision for what you want to create, and just get really clear about where you do want to end up. But next, what you have to do after you know what you want is you need to have a plan. And so think about the steps that you would take. What is the process you need to get there? And whether it's something that's a simple process of 2 to 3 steps or something that may be multiple processes, take the steps of what each one will take to get. So know what you want, have a plan. Then number 3 is have a success coach. Have someone who's maybe gone through this challenge before you that you can use as a mentor or a coach or a role model, someone that's been through it before that you can ask the questions of how you can navigate that challenge. So we know what we want, we have a plan, we have a success coach, and then what we do is we take consistent action. We take consistent action. And again, that's breaking things down in bite-sized pieces. And also knowing that we may have to adjust along the way. In fact, I've often heard that when a flight takes off to a destination, the pilot will say that they're off course. Generally 99% of the time, they're constantly making these changes. So have that plan and stick to it, but also be able to adjust. Number 5 is to review your progress. And so see where you're at on this road. And again, once again, be able to make adjustments. So you review your progress, and that might be on a weekly basis. It might be on a monthly basis. It might even be on a daily basis, depending upon what obstacle you're trying to move through. And then finally is that you renew your goals. So after you've moved through and you move through this obstacle, now you renew your goals to move on to your next step. And so if you think about this 6-step process, know what you want, have a plan, have a success coach, take consistent action, review your progress and renew your goals. If you take that to any situation that you're dealing with, now you've got a process that you can move through that takes you through the most challenging of times. It's often been said that the quality of our life is in direct connection to the qualities of the questions we ask ourselves. So this week, I'm going to challenge all of us. What is the question you're asking when obstacles arise? Are you asking yourself, can I do it? Or are you asking yourself, how do I do it? So this has been Chris Natzke with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching. Thanks so much for listening. Always appreciate your feedback, your likes, your shares, and we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.